Hello everyone, I am Rajeshri Rao and today we are going to discuss about the production of primary metabolites. In previous lecture, we talk about the general introduction of some biofertilizers, biopesticides and bioinsecticides and their production in the large scale. Okay, so in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the production of primary metabolites. So, starting with what is meant by primary metabolites. Primary metabolites is the compound which involves or which is synthesized by microbial cells in the growth phase. Okay, so when microbial cells produce these metabolites or the compound which is required for their growth and development, that is some amino acids, nucleotide and some fermentation end products such as ethanol and organic acid. So, industrial useful enzymes either associated with the microbial cells or exoenzymes often are synthesized by microorganisms during growth. So, these enzymes find many uses in food production and textile finishing. Some examples of primary metabolites include alcohols, ethanols, and lactic acid, and certain amino acid. So these all compounds are necessary for microbial cell growth and development. So that's why it is the primary metabolites. So next is the secondary metabolites. So what is meant by the secondary metabolites? Secondary metabolites are typically organic compounds produced through the modification of primary metabolite synthesis. It means usually secondary metabolite accumulates during the period of nutrients limitation or waste product accumulation that follows the active growth phase. So these secondary metabolites have no direct relation to the synthesis of cell materials and normal growth. For example, it includes some antibiotics and mycotoxin fall into this category. So, the many of the identified secondary metabolites have a role in ecological function, including defense mechanism by serving as antibiotics and by producing pigments. As I am told you, secondary metabolites include some antibiotics. For example, it contains tetramycin or ampicillin resistance gene which is responsible for resistance. So microbial production of organic acid is a promising approach for obtaining building blocks. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the organic acid production. So the organic acid is promising approach for obtaining building blocks chemicals from renewable carbon source. Although some acids have been produced for some times and in-depth knowledge of this microbial production, progress has been gained. Further microbial production process seem to be feasible, but large-scale production has not been yet possible. Some citric acid, lactic acid and succinic acid production simplifies three processes in different stages of industrial development. It means an organic production by the microorganism is important in industrial microbiology. Some citric acid, acetic acid, lactic acid, fumaric acid and gluconic acids are the major products. Until microbial process were developed, the major source of citric acid was citrus fruit. But today, most citric acid is produced by the microorganism. That is 70% is used in the food and beverages industries. And these are the list of some organic acids and the microorganisms which produce them and the uses of these acids. So, first is the acetic acid, which is microbially engineered microorganism. It is the Clostridium. Uses the production of vinegar. It means acetic acid is used for the production of vinegar. Like this, some citric acid, lactic acid, succinic acid and propanonic acid and etonic acid. These are some organic acids which is produced by the organism or microorganism. We will see the one by one production of these acids. So first of all is the production of citric acid. So this is the pathway of or the flow chart of the citric acid production, in which that the citric acid is mainly produced by submerged fermentation using Aspergillus niger yeast such as Saccharomyces cerevisiae species and Candida. Okay, so such as some it prefers the beet molasses due to its lower content of traces metals. So it is used the beet molasses for the production of citric acid. Also the cane molasses contain calcium, magnesium, manganese, iron and zinc, which has a retarding factor on the synthesis of citric acid. So the medium often is treated with an ion exchange resin to ensure low and controlled concentration of available metals. The success of this fermentation depends on the regulation and functioning of the glycolytic pathway and the tricarboxylic acid cycle. After the active growth phase, when the substrate level is high, citrate synthase activity increases and the activities of aconitase and isocitrate dehydrogenase decreases. So the result in citric acid accumulation and secretion by the stress microorganism. So this is the flow chart of citric acid production. That is, first is the culture medium. It includes some carbohydrates and metals. That is some MgSO4, copper, iron, and the pH of this medium is the 1.8 to and 2.0. So the inoculum of Aspergillus niger strain. It means we are adding the Aspergillus niger for the production of citric acid. So after the fermentation, this is the step one by one flow chart. That is the fermenter. It contains the temperature 27 to 33 degrees Celsius and it is for the 5 to 14 days. Next, the fermented broth. Add lime, that is the CaOH. So the next is the calcium citrate. Add the sulfuric acid, calcium sulfate plus citric acid, that is the filter and the production of citric acid. Next is the vacuum evaporation. And next is the citric acid crystals plus citric acid. So after the centrifugation, also this step is repeated and the forms of crystals. The crystalline sodium salt anhydrous powder, that is the citric acid crystals or the citric acid powder. Okay, so this is the citric acid production. And next is the acetic acid production. Acetic acid is also referred as a vinegar production. The production of acetic acid or vinegar undergoes two-step modification by different microorganisms. First step involves the conversion of sugar into ethanol by the yeast, mainly by the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. And in the second step, the oxidation of ethanol into acetic acid takes place by the bacteria like Acetobacter or Glucanobacter species, and this process is termed as the acidification. And the next is the fermentation of acetic acid can be aerobic or anaerobic. The anaerobic fermentation is carried out using the Clostridium bacteria in the absence of oxygen, and aerobic fermentation is first carried out by the yeast. It means it is by the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and secondly by the bacteria Acetobacter aceti. So in this diagram we will see the glucose. This glucose is converted into the ethanol by the yeast, that is the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and Next, ethanol. This ethanol is converted into acetic acid by the Acetobacter aceti. This is the two-stage process for the acetic acid production or the acetic acid fermentation. Next is the production of lactic acid. So, the biosynthesis of lactic acid from glucose proceeds via glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate and pyruvate. The reducing power is produced during the oxidation of the glyceraldehyde. Phosphate is transferred with NAD dependent lactase dehydrogenase to pyruvate, which reduces stereospecifically to L or D lactic acid. So, in this diagram, we see the glucose. Okay, so it is converted into the pyruvate. After that, the lactate dehydrogenase, it is converted into the lactate. So, in the next diagram, we are going to see the industrial production of lactic acid from cheese whey. So, whey is an important byproduct from the cheese manufacturing industries. The lactose sugar fraction in cheese whey can be used to produce the value added products such as the lactic acid or ethanol, ethyl alcohol and methane gas, or to grow cells for an antibacterial compounds. The lactic acid is a natural organic acid and has many applications in the pharmaceutical, food and chemical industries. So it is used as a acidulant and preservatives, and recently its potential as a substrate for the production of biodegradable plastic has been actively pursued. So the lactic acid has been used by fermentation of sugar containing substrate including cheese whey using Lactobacillus helveticus, okay, and Lactobacillus species. It means the production of lactic acid by the cheese whey is with the help of the Lactobacillus organism. So in this flow chart, the cheese whey is first step is the ultrafiltration, next is the fermentation, and after that the nanofiltration of this cheese whey, and the next is the RO filtration, and after that the vacuum evaporation, and next is the polymerization, and next is the polylacticide, that is the PLA. So in this way the lactic acid production are done with the help of Lactobacillus microorganism. Next is the production of gluconic acid. The production of gluconic acid involves a single microbial enzyme, glucose oxidase, found in Aspergillus niger. Aspergillus niger grown under the optimum condition in a corn strip liquor medium. So the growth becomes limited by nitrogen and the resting cells transform the remaining glucose to gluconic acid in a single step reaction. So the gluconic acid is used as a carrier for calcium and iron and as a component of detergent. So how the fermentation are actually done? Okay, so it includes the gluconic acid produced industrially by employing the fungus or the bacterium. In the former process, Aspergillus niger, and in the latter process, Acetobacter are used. Aspergillus niger employs glucose oxidase involved agent like FAD and lactonase in the presence of oxygen. So, the resulting in the formation of gluconic acid. On the other hand, Glucanobacter employs glucose dehydrogenase with coenzyme PQQ and lactonase, which helps in dissipating hydrogen peroxide. So this is the diagram for the formation of gluconic acid from glucose by acetobacter, and it includes, first is the glucose is converted into alpha glucanolactone by the glucose dehydrogenase, and after that by the lactonase it is converted into the gluconic acid. And in the next reaction, the enzymic reaction leading to gluconic acid formation in glucanobacter and aspergillus. Okay, so this is the flow chart, or this is the reaction which takes place for the gluconic acid production. Next is the production of amino acid. So total about 20 amino acids are synthesized in the cell of the most microorganism. They are utilized in the synthesis of protein and other essential substance required by the cells. Fermentative production of amino acid has treated by the discovery of glutamic acid producing bacterium, that is the Corynebacterium glutamicum. So the amino acids such as lysine and glutamic acid are used in food industry as a nutritional supplement in bread product and as a flavor enhancing compound. So the amino acid production is typically carried out by means of regulatory mutants, which has a reduced ability to limit synthesis of an end product. So the normal microorganism avoid overproduction of biochemical intermediates by the careful regulation of cellular metabolism. The production of the glutamic acid and several other amino acids in large quantities is now carried out using the mutants of Corynebacterium glutamicum that lacks or has only a limited ability to process the TCA cycle intermediate alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl-CoA. So the control low biotin level and addition of fatty acids derivatives results in increased membrane permeability and excretion of high concentration of glutamic acid. So after the growth becomes limited because of the changed nutrient availability, and almost complete molar conversion of isocitrate to glutamate occurs. So these are the table for the production of some amino acid, that is the production of D and L alanine by the strain which is used for the production of this amino acid is the microbacterium. Okay, so it yields the 60 gram per ml amino acid, and the carbon source used by this bacterium is the glucose. Like this, some also the amino acids name, that is arginine, glutamicum, glutamine, lysine, proline, threonine, tryptophan and valine. And these are some species of or the strain of microorganisms which is used for the production of these amino acids, and mostly it uses the glucose as a carbon source. So the various amino acids, L-glutamic acid and lysine, are in a great demand for commercial production. Auxotrophs are used in the fermentation production of these two amino acids. The major portion of the amino acid accumulation occurs after the log phase of growth of microorganism. So the concentration of specific growth factor is very crucial for the maximum yield of the product, because the concentration above or the below the optimum substantially reduces the yield. So the microorganism do not produce amino acid in surplus or more than required quantity. So the enzymes responsible for the regulatory effect or repressor of an amino acid are made inactive due to mutation, which leads to the accumulation of the particular amino acid in commercially feasible quantities, which is being exploited commercially for fermentation. So this is about the production of amino acid. Next is the production of vitamins. So it includes Most vitamins are previously prepared from animal and plant tissues, although it it from bakers or the brewers yeast preparation. Okay, so this is the both strain of the Saccharomyces cerevisiae or the yeast. So these have as long as employ as the rich source of vitamin B. So microorganisms are now used as a sources of a wide range of this important compound, including thymine, riboflavin, pyridoxine, biotin, folic acid, ascorbic acid, and ergosterol, and some other vitamins. For the production of some vitamins, direct fermentation process are operated, whereas for others, biotransformation or combined chemical and microbiological process are employed. So this is the chart for some vitamin and the microorganisms which is produce these vitamins. Like vitamin C is produced by the Corynebacterium species, or the riboflavin, vitamin B12, biotin, vitamin E. Okay, so this is the example of some vitamin and the production of this vitamin by the microorganism. Next is the production of microbial enzyme. Commercially, microbial enzymes are increasingly replacing the conventional chemical catalysts in many industrial processes. Microbial enzymes have several advantages over chemical catalysts, including the ability to function under the relative mild condition of the temperature, pressure, and pH. This results in the consumption of less energy, and there is usually no requirement for expensive co-resistance equipment. So enzymes are specific, often stereoselective catalyst, which is not produce unwanted byproduct. The microbial enzymes are predominantly produced by submerged fermentation, although some solid substrate fermentation are used, particularly for the production of extracellular fungal enzymes. So this is some examples of enzymes which is produced by the microorganism or the source, and the application of this enzyme, that is proteases, lipases, or amylases. For example, lactase is produced by the yeast and it is the dairy product, and it is used in the dairy for the dairy product formation or the dairy product production. And the uses of these or the application of this enzyme is in the production of whole milk concentration or some ice creams and some frozen dessert. And next is this is the flow chart of enzyme production. As in the development of any fermentation process, enzyme production process traditionally begin with the search for a suitable producer organism. Use of GRAS listed, it means the generally regarded as safe organism, is an important consideration for enzymes that are to be used in a food or medical application. A program of microorganism screening and selection is necessary to determine enzyme properties such as optimum pH, heat resistance, and examination of the ability to secrete the target enzyme. So, with this flow chart, we are going to see the enzyme production. So, the first step is for the stop culture of the production stream. Next is the starter culture, and after that, it is enzyme or these enzymes are produced by two ways. That is, first is the solid substrate fermentation, and other one is the submerged fermentation. So with the solid substrate fermentation, the next step is the aqueous extraction. After that, the extracellular enzymes. After that, the enzyme production, it filtration are takes place. Next is the concentration and liquid enzyme concentration, and after that the addition of stabilized agent, and next is the standardization, and liquid enzyme preparation. And with the help of the submerged fermentation, the process is the processing of spent material or the processing of harvested cells. So the intracellular enzyme are produced. After that, the cell breakage and the removal of the cell debris and the concentration and liquid enzyme concentrate. So the isolation of this enzyme from the cell are takes place. After that, the precipitation, filtration, drying, grinding and standardization, and next is the powder enzyme preparation. So this is all about the production of enzyme. Okay, so this is what the primary metabolite production, and in next lecture we are going to see the production of secondary metabolite. So thank you everyone.